Hello there everyone, this is Neko here, get ready to play Valheim. We're going to be doing some base building today, and we're probably going to be doing a bit of base building for the next episode because I wasn't able to run around and explore. My goal today is to build a teleport tower, basically. If you guys enjoy my content, if I haven't scared you off already, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that. I try to show tips, tricks, helpful hints, and all that throughout my playthroughs, including like cheesing bosses and other things like that or whatever. But hey, anyways, you can see this place is getting a little filled here and it's getting a bit annoying. So that's part of the reason why I'm wanting to move my stuff. I did a lot of prep work off camera over here. I did make another stairs. This one's slightly different than the one over there. The other one has it like split off this way right up here. Instead, it splits down here, and it doesn't do it as sharply. You can see here we've got stones for days. Now, whether or not that lasts for days is a different story because it takes about 2 stones per thing. Now, I'm trying to make a decent, good circle tower. And basically how I did that is I found the center of where I want to place it, and then moved a bunch of these poles. I made a circle, then I dragged them all the way out here. Then I took a small piece, hung it down, put a part here and a piece here, so that way I can center these under this directly. And basically just ran around the entire thing doing this the entire time, and took a hell of a long time. Admittedly, when you're digging out the ground here, either you get pickaxe mining very, very, very slowly, or you don't get any at all, because I did a hell of a lot. Admittedly, I get more stone if I go and dig up stones and other things like that there. Digging those up give a lot more stone, but so does picking these up, but that's because I have ×3. So we're gonna continue, we're gonna build, yay, and everything else. We're gonna need a bunch of stone. Gotta make sure I have enough room for everything and all that. I don't think we're gonna need my axe, but I gotta keep a weapon on just in case. Now, I did check out what the what that whiffs thing gave, and it calls whiffs over at night, and it unlocked the whiffs light. So I can now go wherever, I guess, to the Mistlands. Now, assuming the way this is gonna go, I'm going to want to head up towards this direction over this way so I can find the rest of these and see if I can find any mists or find any other, any other locations. But we're going to need to do a hell of a lot of building for that too. But in the meantime, we're just going to set this up. Because I want to get this I want to make sure this is set up. That way I can start slapping down my that way I can start slapping down walls onto this, because I'm assuming once we get this circle made, we don't need to, and we get the walls down, I can actually remove the flooring here, and then we should have a decent circle set up for everything, I'm hoping. I gotta make sure I snap these in the right place because I want to get these as good and as decent as possible. Because it's going to be hell if we have to redo all of this. And I really don't want to do that. Like, really, really don't want to. Alright. part of the reason why I also did a lot of this off camera is because I haven't figured out how to do a time-lapse setup just yet, or a third person or whatever, an offset view. Like what I would do is set up like maybe a tower over here, have someone or get a setup so that it records down onto here, and then from there we'll be good to go. Admittedly, the whiff light isn't the best. It does run around wherever the hell you're moving. So I might look into grabbing the headlights, which I did get, because I think that aims at where I'm looking and not where I'm running, which would probably be a good combination between the two, because then I don't have to worry about stupid things like this. Now, probably gonna go with the big wall. The problem is, as you can see here, this is not a perfect setup. So if I go in the center of here, and do this around the entire thing. Why did it set up on there? Maybe I gotta take this and move it over to here. That might be what I have to do. No. Yeah, why is it? It must be something to do with these. These must be in the way or something. No? If I go here, and I go here, it leaves a small gap in the center. And basically what I'm wanting to do is make sure to get these all around this setup here. There might be a way to set this up and it might involve actually using these. The question is, yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna have to do. Is I'm gonna have to set up these on the corners here. Which, I mean, that's part of showing tricks on how to get this set up in a way that works. And I'm fine with that. Now, normally, I don't go to bed, but we're doing a YouTube video, so definitely gonna go to bed. Looks like that's perfectly set on there, so we're gonna have to adjust the one over here. And I'm gonna have to go through with a bunch of wood and go slap down a ring so I don't have to repeat and all that. I did get a bunch of tar wood set up here. I am going to be upgrading and changing my walls. I am going to be changing up my roof. And we're going to be changing up a bunch of other stuff. I probably should also get some food. And a few. I'm wet. Yay! Alright, bedtime. Gotta see if there's any outfits with shoes. Or if there are shoes. Because running around barefoot is like, I prefer not to. Alright, I don't think we need the whips. I think we can go back to this. Oh, this is going to be scary. They're going to be running off right now, but once it's nighttime, you can basically come over here. Or come over to your little setup here. Yeah, they demand darkness. If I had waited, it would, once it says nighttime, it will say the whiffs are coming, and then you can go harvest them. But it looks like we're going to have to set up some more of these lights all around. to get better lighting. But back to setting up my base. We're gonna get ourselves a tower. When, where, why, who knows? But I am going to fix a few things. We're gonna pop you and basically pop all the wood like this so we can actually go around and get the stuff set up properly. So I can actually get this done quickly rather than struggling. Whee! And then we'll have to delete all this wood, and I'll probably have to rebuild those just to make sure. Oop. Just to make sure everything is correctly set up. Oops. Grab this. Get that back in. And yep. Gotta be careful when deleting because you might accidentally delete your stone. And if you don't have it structurally supported or are like max like what I had, if you're not careful, it could cause more damage all over the place. And that won't be fun. At least not in my opinion. I'm gonna have plenty of wood. Now I was testing out the obliterator, and it seems you can sometimes get coal from it. So, and I don't know what the ratio is. It might be like a what is it? 1 to 10. So it's like 10 items equals 1 coal. We're going to just set this up like this. Actually. Okay, so yeah, that's set up where it needs to be, set up where it needs to be. And this will help with speeding up with building. Part of the reason why I, whatever you call it, left a part of this open was just so that the fact that I could actually run around quickly and get things done. And once we have a tower, I'm gonna put stairs on the inside, and and there seems to be a height limit to how high you can raise some things. So depending on how this goes, I might look into some alternative things to use, like maybe some trees, because if you look, that is solid, not solid. Anything touching the tree or trees are solid blue. Even these small little trees here. So I'm thinking maybe if I can figure out how to plant these small trees, I could use that to build a lot of things that I want to build and make super tall structures, because if I have a limit to how high I can go with like stone and how high I can go with the ground, eventually I won't be able to make some super stone structures, and I want to make some of those, like what I'm doing right now. I do gotta think about where I'm gonna put the entrance, and I might have it would be pointless to have the stairs come out this way, so the entrance might be right here and right here. These two might be the entrances that I'm gonna have for this place. And I might throw in some other entrances depending on where, but for now we'll leave you and you, so we'll get that. Now the thing is, I think the problem is going to be right here. I want to be able to reach this, and I think the only way I'm going to be able to do that is if I do something like this so that I want to make it big. That's the problem, is I want to make this big and use the big stones. But these big ones aren't lining up. Oh. So I might just have to deal with come on. I might just have to deal with something like that and then something like that. But then we don't get this nice setup. Yeah, it's like not perfect. Like, if I do this, I could then throw in maybe one right here and no. Yeah, that's the fun part about trying to figure out how to build and what. I could theoretically take one of these, shift it, nope, take one of these, nope, dang. I'm not sure how to, the only thing I can think of is I either need to make it smaller or make it bigger if I want to try and get this to be a decent setup. Until then, we'll just deal with that. So we'll slap one on here, slap one onto here, and we'll just deal with it like that. That'll give it a nice little corner piece here that we'll just have to deal with. So, oh, out of stone. I guess we'll deal with what we have to deal with until then. And then from there, I'll just work on getting a few other things going. Kind of wish we could make these better. Like, I wish there was different sizes, but you can't always get what you want. Once we have this all set up, we are going to effectively just do this. And that should give us a nice square inside and give us a nice round outside. Hopefully. Alright, let's continue on. We'll get the walls done and we'll get everything else done in the process. Actually, you know what? Oh, I was gonna say screw it, we'll just do that, but actually, I could just do that and that, but then the line up there, we turn it, so at this point, it just do that. Just do both sides, then turn it. Okay, I was about to say, that one seems really far off. Nope. But this is how you build a tower, or at least a circular tower. I am going to have to go through and delete some things. but that's fine. Alright. This is kind of why I wish I could figure out how to do a time lapse, because then I would just speed time this entire setup here, so you would just see me running in a circle from a different view, and I would just be like do 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 do, and you would see this naturally increase. I'm gonna try and get this as high as I can. I may have to look into adding in some iron and wood supports into the structure here. So I might throw in some, well actually, can I don't think this is going to increase the structural integrity, but it might. But I would like to take these and just slap these all the way up to try and increase the thing. But we're going to have to throw in a forge. And there's all kinds of other crud that we're going to have to do. Alright. We're going to have to set up get you here and here, and then we basically... Yeah, we're going to need to throw this on to give us the... There we go. And then we can throw the door on later. We just need this for at least this part right here. There. That should work. Oops, nope. I meant to hold shift, and then that. That's the one part that sucks, is if you accidentally press something else, you accidentally delete, and then you have to do a bunch of work again. Yay! Alright. You over here, you over there, and we got all of that, and we'll delete you here. Now we should have the ability to delete, delete. The problem is for deleting, you gotta get rid of stuff like that. And then there's the issue of if we delete too much, we have to rebuild again, because it's going to delete the ground, and the ground is going to then, it's not going to be supported, and then it's just like, mother flip nuggets. And that's not fun. But it's definitely going to be nice having a tower that we can use. I just got to make sure to fill in everything everywhere. And I got to think about how I'm going to put the door in. Because if I want it to be in the center, can we... Actually, you know, I don't have to have actual doors. I could use these. But... that height, yeah, we're not fitting through, so we're gonna have to raise this up. But I could deal with having big open doors like this, especially if this is gonna be a teleport tower. It's not gonna be like anything major or super special. But, well, actually, I guess you could say a teleport tower is super special. But for now, let's just at least get a lot of this filled in. We got a bunch of wood, we're just taking up space. I gotta figure out where to dump that wood. And you know what? We can go to our, whatever you call it. Oh, actually, we could go in here. The problem is it might cause some damage to like this and that. Incoming! Oh. Okay, well, it does affect the floor, so we're gonna need to put that on a the dirt. I'm gonna have to build a special spot for this, but Oh, I put in like 16, so it looks like it might be for wood what is it? Times that by 5 is 15, so it might be 5 wood equals 1 coal. I mean, the speed at which you get it is fast, and with me having my wood supply up by like, I don't know, 3 times the amount, that's actually not too bad. Because, alright, I don't have this built yet, but you can see right over there, I've got wood like there's no tomorrow, and we've got wood here and everything else. Anyway, I gotta remove this door, but that's gonna be later. So over here and back to building. And this is going to be a nice tower. And it's gonna be amazing. Now, first floor, I don't think we're gonna have anything special on the first floor. I might, actually, if I do this, the thing hits a 3x3 area. If I place it exactly in the center, and I set up stairs that go around the outside up it, and then I leave a hole or a passageway, I can run in there, and then we can have a hole at the top, and then lightning comes down, and ooh, that would actually be kind of cool. I may have to continue on. I think I may actually do that. Unless I think of something else. There's always a possibility of coming up with other ideas and other things. But yeah, you can see these are expensive as hell. I kind of wish crafting skill, as we ranked it up, it actually reduced the cost of crafting a little bit. For stone, at least. Or in other words, stone crafting and stuff. Because 6 stone, if you don't have like 3 times the gathering rate, it's... takes quite a while. At least until you start figuring out where you want to start harvesting stone, I guess. But yeah, you can see here, I just burned through that and I only did like 6 things. Oh, we're out of stamina. And it's getting nighttime. Oh, I guess I can say that this isn't a tower, but a perfect circle. And even then, it's not 100% perfect. But I'll probably end up doing that. I'll probably say, woo, I built a circle. And then next episode, we're going to do a little bit of farming. In other words, I'm going to try and hatch some chickens and show you my farm area. That way we can hope. Oh, and then we'll also work on getting barley being made at the same time. More barley so we can grow and make bigger, better chickens and everything else. Stamina food. Might as well eat. Surprisingly, I'm surprised that a turnip isn't edible. You would think they would make this a food you can eat. In other words, maybe give it stamina, like the onions and carrots. If onions give 40 and carrots give 32, since I think turnips are actually they might be same tier as this, so maybe they could actually make it less of a, since it's nutrient, you know what, they could balance it. So it would be like, I don't know, 20. No, it might be, I guess they could make it, because it's same tier as this would be balanced out. So we would take, let's say, 7 off there and put it on there. That's 20 and 30, and that would be, what, 33 and 20. If we take 3, that would be 23 and 30. So I guess you could say 25 and 25 would be what you would balance it around to. Actually, since it's nighttime, we'll go show you what the whiffs thing looks like when it's nighttime. Unless there's too much torches around. Ah, yeah, the whiffs are coming. I would have expected them to be here already, but hey. Eventually we'll see them flying through the walls and then spinning around this. I don't think we... Oh, there we are. There's one. Whee! And then you just pick up the whiffs. But I don't know how many this holds, but you can... It's... but yeah, anyways, brain fart. You can pick it up, you get whiffs, and then you can make the wisp light. Part of the reason why I plan to go and check out, try and sell around, I am going to make a big boat this time around, instead of the little boat. And then from there, sell around until I find the next location I need to reach. Woo, 73. Been a hell of a lot of days here. Yep, they ran away. Actually, you have to get a certain distance before they actually load in. So, who knows? They might not have ran away just yet, but... The one thing that sucks about this is that it moves where you're moving rather than floating around you. As you can see here, if I jump, it goes up, it goes down. If I run forward and then turn, it goes forwards, then comes back. It takes a little bit for it to catch up. But at least it provides light. Alright. Let me jump. I may have to work on my jumping skill though. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to fill in a bunch of places, which is fine. But I'm gonna try and get this built up, at least. So I can be like, look at me, I built a circle. Alright, we could, wait. Yeah, without the whiffs, I can't hold the 450 that I want. Which is actually going to be helpful when building with stone. Oop. Otherwise, it's going to be hell of a pain to do. Oop. But, yep. This is turning out amazing. I just gotta pop all the wood once I'm done. Take a picture of it and be like, building a perfect circle. Admittedly, I don't think it would count as a perfect circle because of this spot right here. But it's definitely good enough. And actually, I might just say starting to build a teleport tower. Although I don't want people to get the wrong idea, and be like, "What? Teleport tower? Is that new?" And then get upset when, because in reality, it is a teleport tower. It's just not. It's a handmade one by me. and not the game. Alright, well, at this rate, it's just basically going to be just this. I've already talked about what I plan. You can get the base idea. Once I'll get a few more things going off camera and show you the rest of the idea, because I explained that we're gonna have we're gonna have stairs that go up to, and we're gonna have this as high as possible that we can try and achieve with this. So in the meantime, I guess we'll call it here. So if you guys enjoyed, please like. If you didn't, I understand. Not much happened. Just literally building a circle and everything else. If you guys want to see more of this series, make sure to check out my channel. If you want to see other games I play, check out the in-screen credits. I do play other games in the process. And if you want to be added on to the in-screen credits like these people, make sure to publicly subscribe. After a certain amount of time, I'll add you on. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed and you come back for more. I'm going to get ready for the next episode, which means I'm going to try and finish up a lot of this. Well, at least get the main setup of this ready to go, and then prepare for the farming and the chickens and everything else. So, in the meantime, I'm going to let the credits roll out. And once they do, then I'll say bye-bye.